Spiderwick does whatever a Spiderwick does. He's a spider and a wick, and his name is Spiderwick.
Oh my gosh.
I came up with that on the toilet. Did you like that?
Oh my gosh, honey.
Did you like it?
Yes, I like it. Also, hi guys, it's been a bit. Shit kind of hit the fan this month, so that's kind of why we don't really have much content this month. We had a bunch of plans originally, and then
society decided to dash those plans with a little bit of realism.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, we're back at this point, but a lot of the stuff we were gonna watch this month, we're gonna be delaying. So instead, you guys are getting this, and you got the other podcast we did, which was the embarrassing shit we went through as kids, which we do plan on doing a part 2 of, coming soon. We'll probably record it after this one if that's okay. You want to do that? Please?
I don't know. Sorry, at like midnight. You really want to go for another 2 more hours about how we go? You really want me to talk about that? Like
yes.
The whole experience. That is 4 years.
Well, it doesn't have to be the whole 4 years, but you could just do like a couple that you can think of.
But I have so much to say about that.
But that's going to be its own video. Anyway, we do plan on doing a part 2 of that. Don't know when yet, but be on the lookout for that. Anyway, so welcome back to the Charming Analysis Podcast. So, because of how plans went this month with what we were originally going to be doing, we decided to do something a little bit more obscure, in a sense, than what we originally planned. We originally had like 3 animes we were going to watch, but then shit hit the fan. So we just decided, hey, let's watch this tonight and do a podcast on it. So today we're going to be talking about the Spiderwick Chronicles.
The movie, not the books, because...
Yeah, the movie, not the books. Because even though I've read the books, though.
You read the books? And tell me, what Candy, from somebody who has read the books.
I've read the books like years ago. Like,
well, what do you remember of reading the books?
From what I remember, it was a whole lot darker. The story was spread out through like not just one movie. It was spread out through like 5 books, I believe, maybe 6. And then they did a sequel, which took place like a couple years after everything. But basic stuff I remember from it, because it's been a long time, because this movie came out like 13 years ago, so it's been a very long time since I read these. I think I read them when I was in middle school. Yeah, because I was like middle school, maybe like elementary, something like that. Very long time ago. But there's a lot of lore in Spiderwick Chronicles from what I remember. There's a whole lot of like lore. The pictures were like very detailed and stuff like in the book. Same like what they do in the actual like movie and stuff, but they don't go into it as in depth as the books did. The books went way more in depth in the lore. They went way more in depth in like how everything was, and it was a whole lot darker. I remember that.
How dark are you talking about?
I can't really remember off the top of my head. I just remember it was way darker than the movie. I feel like the movie barely scratched the surface of the potential of the series, in my opinion. Like, the movie itself is good. It does a good brief representation of the series, in my opinion, but I feel like the books were way more in depth.
Is this the books? The field guide? Spiderwick?
Well, there was a field guide that they did. Well, there was there was chapter books, which were these. I can show you. They were literally like these ones. There was like multiple books. It talked about like a whole bunch of stuff.
Amazing.
Okay. They had a whole bunch of books.
I'm trying to see what like they got. Okay. So it's like, so it's just kind of like, it's like like a series of books that kept on following like an anthology of characters.
Yeah, I don't know if they did anything after that. Can I look?
Like grade level Spiderwick.
Can I see?
Yeah, the books came out in, from what I can see, books mostly came out in 2003, 2004.
Yeah, they're like old books and stuff like that. I don't know. I've only seen like the one, like these ones I showed you. I've only seen these ones. I don't remember if there was other ones, but I know these were the ones I had. And character designs were a whole lot different.
This is live action.
Yeah. So yeah, like I don't know.
We don't get so far as to casting live action people to.
Yeah. But yeah, like they also had like guides and stuff like that, because I remember the guides. I'll give it to you in a second. I'm just trying to remember. It's been a while.
I know, but like, I wanted to see how the art was like comparatively to the.
I feel like they do very. It's pretty spot on from what I can tell. Because I haven't read the books in so long. Like the last time I read the books was like years ago.
Yeah, I don't remember these on the fucking Books A Million shelves. I really
think they were
don't.
on Borders, I believe. Borders originally had them.
Okay, because I don't remember these designs. Yeah, I don't.
That's the ones I remember reading when I was a kid. So I don't know if they've changed the cover since like they came out, but anyway, so you guys are probably wondering, what is this series we're talking about?
Yeah.
It's technically a series of books that got adapted into a movie by Nickelodeon and Paramount. So, do you want me to do the synopsis?
Sure, do the synopsis.
So basically, Spiderwick Chronicles is about this family and like the kids of the family ended up finding this book made by their great uncle, who is the author Spiderwick.
Mm-hmm.
He made the book about the mythical creatures of the world, including fairies, sprites, goblins, griffins, stuff like that, and ogres and all that stuff. Basically, it's like a dark, like horror fantasy kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I consider it dark horror, but not really scary horror in a sense.
It's a dark children's fantasy story.
Basically, yeah. Think of like Magic Tree House, but way darker. Like way darker Magic Tree House.
Tree House was dark. Okay. Someone needs to make some type of adaptation of a Magic Tree House. I think an anthology show of the Magic Tree House would be.
I think they were going to, but they never did.
Well, now it's the perfect time to bring back fucking Magic Tree House.
They have like so many books, but we're gonna talk about that later. Anyway, so yeah, that's basically the synopsis of it. Is just them exploring like the wonders of the world through Spiderwick's eyes and the creature's eyes, basically. So, what did you think of the Spiderwick Chronicles? Because you've seen the movie before.
Yeah, I grew up with it.
We
both grew up with it.
Yeah, we both grew up with it, but I grew up with the books, and I did see the movie later on, but what did you think of the movie?
I really like it. Maybe because I had never seen any of the fucking... Maybe because I never saw... This was the closest thing to Narnia there was for me. I never saw Narnia when I was a kid. I never saw Harry Potter.
Gosh. I saw Narnia!
I have never seen any of the big budget, like...
Book to movie adaptations.
Fantasy live action movies. I've never seen any of them.
Okay, definitely I gotta get you to watch Narnia. At least the first one.
I've seen Narnia, like, when I got older, but not when I didn't grow up with it.
Yeah. I saw it when I was growing up. I watched a lot of, like, Narnia. That was the one I watched more of. Harry Potter I wasn't really that big on. I've seen most of the movies. Lord of the Rings I wasn't really that big on either. I'm a very specific person, okay? Like, there's some things I'm interested in, some things I'm not. Like, everybody pretty much is. But anyway... So, why don't you give me your thoughts on Spiderwick Chronicles? Like, do you feel like it did a good job of, like, capturing, like, the fantasy aspect? Or what? Tell us, like...
More horror to me than fantasy. It's more of a dark creatures movie that was probably, like, if probably if Jim Henson was still alive. I would say that, like, you know, I'm not the biggest expert on CG, and I normally don't, like, whenever I look at things that were made, like, 10 years ago, I don't think, like, oh, terrible CG. I'm so dumb that way. I just, like, oh, you know, that's fine for the time. I can't tell the difference between terrible CG and stuff made back in the day. So that doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't bother me that everything was fucking green screen. It doesn't bother me. I'm just, like, the thing about it is, it's all nostalgia trip for me. Because I remember seeing this in the theater. I remember being fucking scared of this movie. But I loved movies that scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. So, I guess I just have a fondness for this movie. And even now watching it, I'm like, I can kind of see why I related to this movie a lot when I was a kid. It wasn't because of the fact that, yeah, the fucking fantasy elements all grab you when you're a kid, but when you're an adult, you get to, like, notice the acting, you get to notice the imagery and the cinematography a lot more. You get to know why the story has to focus oddly on fucking a child trying to deal with a divorced, like, broken family from a kid's perspective. And I think, like, that's, for the time, because I think you could tell probably the story again, but, like, you know, make it a little bit more, I think you can make it a little bit more,
mature.
Better. I think you can make it a little bit more better and not that rushed, because if I had to give this movie some downfall, it is very, very rushed. You can tell that they probably squeezed in 3 books into one movie.
Well, technically 5. Because it's 5 books.
You never know how many, like, storylines they put into this fucking movie.
Yeah, that's one thing I will definitely mention about this movie.
This movie feels
This is one of those movies that I feel like shouldn't have been as rushed as it did. Even though it is a good movie, I feel like they could have done better if they just separated it into movies from the books. Like, separate all the books into, like, each own movie, like they did with Harry Potter, kind of thing. Yeah. But I see why they did it.
Well, for the first one needs to make money first.
Yeah, I could see why they did it. Money. I see why they did it, though, because sadly this didn't make a lot of money, which is disappointing in my opinion, because the books are great. And I like how
bombed. I don't know. Like, I think it's bombed because
that's sad.
You have to make a certain amount that's well beyond your budget. And I'm
gonna look at it because I'm actually curious how much this made.
I don't think they made.
This is the one time where, like, I'm actually curious how much they made on it.
If it made less than $100 million, then fuck it, they're not gonna do another one.
Let me see. Where's the budget? Budget is $90 million for this movie.
How much did it make?
I'm trying to look.
Box office.
I'm trying to look. If this thing will let me. Come on.
The thing about it is, I think it would be such a hard movie to appeal to that, because I don't think those types of movies that have that art style, that, like, you know, fantasy, like the very old fantasy that has to deal with, like, you know, goblins and shit. I don't think that's what people really want in their fantasy movie, unless you're looking for that in particular. Okay. A lot of people from fantasy really like high art fantasy.
Also, you want to know something funny?
What?
This came out on Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's lovely.
Hi, happy Valentine's Day. Let's go watch Spiderwick Chronicles.
You know, we were seeing this in February. So maybe it was meant to be.
Maybe. Okay, so I'm looking at the budget thing. I'm just basing on what Wikipedia is saying, but it says the budget was $90 million, but the box office it made $164.2 million.
That's nothing.
That's nothing?
That is nothing.
Okay, so that's kind of sad. But to me, I feel like the CGI was actually good. It still kind of holds up to me.
For a Nickelodeon movie.
For a Nickelodeon movie, it still holds up to today, in my opinion. I don't feel like it got like aged. I don't feel like it aged much, in my opinion. But then again, this isn't
a green screen, honestly. That,
yeah,
like,
it's
you can tell when a movie's made by the green screen.
Yeah,
if it's not good greasy, you know that okay, this was probably made before 2010 came around.
Yeah, this was probably made like I think 2008 maybe.
Yeah, because you could tell the focus like
not
zooms in when they go into green screen. You can tell. You can automatically tell when they change the I don't remember what happened, but you can tell when they changed like certain lenses on cameras, like before the whole big like renaissance where they like, you know, changed the aspect ratio.
Yeah,
you can tell. So that's how I decipher my movies what decade was made, how like
how they decide to do stuff.
Yeah, how the aspect ratio works on the green screen. Not when the fucking writing was top notch. Not the actors that were in the like the fucking ratio on the green screen is when I can tell when the movie decade this movie was made. That's how I can tell.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, yeah, I spit. Damn it. I actually bit my tongue. Ow.
Oh damn.
Okay, so what is something about this movie you like and something that you dislike about it?
I like the horror elements.
You like the horror elements?
I always love horror elements in my animated kids movies. I told you, or not animated, kids movies in general. I like elements that like scared the shit out of me or question my sanity. Like I just, I mean, I want more like this. I want more like this where you can have, like, there's so much shit that you can do in a fall setting. I honestly, that's why I love, like, you know, that's why I love media that takes place, like, in the woods. Because that's what I used to do when I was a kid. I used to just play a lot and outside and just, like, inspect, like, a lot. Like, go outside and play a lot and, like, you know, just inspect a lot of stuff on the ground and like, you know, just inspect like barks on trees and go out and adventure and stuff like that. And that's the type of shit I love to do as a kid. So like movies that like have to deal with like in like a creepy, like, you know, foresty environment, like in the winter especially, is like
Krampus did.
That is
well, I know Krampus.
That is a chef's kiss. Mwah.
I know Krampus did something similar to it when they.
Yeah, but Krampus was like
more modern,
and it was more. Fuck, it was PG-13.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm like, okay, for 2008, 2008, I know it was so much different back in 2008. You could probably get away a lot more because it was like in I remember it was like in 2010 when they really started to saturate kids' movies. Mm-hmm. And like they still saturate to this day. They're getting back a little bit back now.
Yeah,
but
it kind of depends.
Like 2000 to 2000 and to 2000, like I think in 2009. So 2000 and 2009, they didn't give a shit what they put in kids' movies, to be completely honest.
Yeah, they really didn't. And then now they just like kind of filter it out.
This is like you know what I compare it to?
What?
An 80s movie that was made in 2008.
Yeah.
This is definitely an 80s movie made in 2008.
Honestly,
this reminds me of it's an old 80s. This reminds me of something Ralph, like a combination of like Ralph Bakshi.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Wizards. No. Fuck. He did the animated Lord of the Rings.
I have no idea.
Honey. He did a lot of Ralph. He's like one of the famous animators.
Look, Jade,
that's like
I don't know everything.
Fine, Jim Henson in Labyrinth.
Okay.
Do you know that?
Yes.
Goblins. Fuck. What was that other one?
Dark Crystal.
Dark Crystal. Yeah, this solely reminds me of the fucking Dark Crystal.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'm sorry if I just keep on mentioning names and thinking that it's fair criticism, but I'm sorry. Nostalgia.
It's okay.
And when I think of nostalgia, I just think images
and like things I can reference and look back on, not so much of the fucking criticism of the movie. I will say, I was kind of like listening to the scenes of when like everybody was arguing, like acting like a dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
And it was like, no wonder I got that weird feeling when I was a kid that this would somehow come back to bite me in the ass.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly,
It bit you in the ass pretty hard.
No, looking at those scenes, I was like, something was up. Something was happening. And there's a reason why those scenes connected to me when I was a kid. And now
you see why.
I see why. And I see why... It's like a premonition. It's like a premonition of shit to come. Like things I was scared of as a kid, wrapped up into this fucking movie.
Yeah.
You know.
Anyway.
I'm sorry.
Let's get back on topic. What is something you dislike about the movie?
What's something I dislike? Again, how fast-paced it is. I don't like that.
You feel like they went too fast?
That's just a downfall of any movie, to be honest. That's just such a nitpick that I have with any fucking movie. Pacing was too fast. Okay.
Yeah, for me,
such a broad
like,
topic.
Something I liked about it was just the way they designed all of, like, the characters and stuff. I feel like they stayed true to the book when it came to, like, designs for most of them. Yeah. Even though...
Oh, yeah, Mari, you're here. Why don't you talk about the movie that you just saw?
Mulgarath, like, looks way different in the book compared to, like, the movie.
What
I feel like...
What do you look like in the book?
I can show you a picture of him.
Here.
He looks fatter, to be honest with you. Like...
He looks in the book or the movie?
In the book, he looks like...
fatter?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Is he short?
I don't know.
Does he look like Mulgarath? Mulgarath. Does he have that voice?
I don't know. Jay, it's been years.
The audiobook or the Mulgarath?
I'll show you a picture.
I swear he has that fucking like weird ass like.
That's what he looks like. He's on the 5th book.
Oh, he looks like the villain from Kung Fu Panda 3.
Oh, Lord.
He looks like Kai from Kung Fu Panda 3.
Anyway, to me, like. His design looked a bit chubbier.
He looks like a warthog.
He looks like a warthog mixed with, like, a plant person.
But in here he is, like, a full-grown... Like,
he looks like a fucking beast.
No, he looks like a troll. Like, I think that's what they were doing. Like, oh, the troll design is, like, cooler, so we'll just...
They made him look more like a troll in this compared to, like, the book. The book, he was, like, a fucking, like... chubby bitch.
This chubby bitch.
Anyway, but character designs, most of them stay true to the book.
None of them are willing to actually kill humans, though.
Yeah. The only other thing is that, like, you don't get to hear about the lore as much when it comes to, like, certain characters and all that, which I wish they could have done more.
Yeah,
you just
they
hear,
have
like,
to tell
very
flashback sequences that have a weird tint to them.
They should have, like, talked about a little bit more, at least go a little bit more in depth about it, so that way the kids can come up with their own ideas and stuff like that, because I thought that would have been nice.
Well, they probably were gonna do it, but they're like, we can't do it because
let's just make it all into one movie.
Yeah, there's too much shit. We gotta cram like 3 books in here or something.
So yeah, that's probably what they ended up doing, and that's the only downfall, really, in my opinion. That's the only thing I dislike about it. It was way too rushed, in my opinion. They could have done some stuff in it.
Like, okay, here's an actual criticism.
Okay.
Seth Rogen. I really don't like Seth Rogen's voice. I'm sorry.
Who played Seth Rogen?
The Hawk Squeal.
Oh, gosh.
Pig.
Yeah,
I don't like Seth Rogen as a celebrity voice actor. I don't like... Actor, fine. I don't care.
Just voice actor
is fine. Voice actor, I hate his fucking voice and voice acting. I wish he would go away, like, not do voice acting anymore, because he's not good at it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's some people that are good at it, and some people that are kind of...
He has too much of the familiar voice. He doesn't do anything. He's just, like, there.
He doesn't really, like, change it. They just...
And it's not like, no, you're not Patrick Warburton. You can't just fucking show up because you're fucking Patrick Warburton. You're not that fucking...
Yeah.
You're not that fucking
Honey,
good
we
at
get
being
it.
a podcast award. I'm sorry. Okay, Seth Rogen, you could have taken that movie.
So one more question I can ask, and then we'll give a rating, and then probably talk about one more thing. Okay. So, well, actually, 2 more questions, and then that. So, one more question, and then we'll talk about like something. So, okay. So, if this movie made more money, and they actually did do like a sequel movie to this that crammed all the like the after epilogue stories, do you think you would have watched it if they did that? Do you think you would have watched like an epilogue of the...
Yeah, because I was a dumb child and I would watch anything in front of me.
I mean, like, nowadays, would you?
Now would I watch it?
If they made a sequel.
No.
You wouldn't?
I would not be really interested. I would not. Because of how they do it now? No.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't want to. I really don't. I think it's just a movie that could have just been made at its time, and then I don't think it can be remade again.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, one other thing.
It's like those, it's like that, it's like, I'm sorry, I know people wanted the sequel to this, including me. It's like it's a lot like I see, another movie from my childhood and another movie that, like, scarred me a little bit, and was probably too violent for kids. It's like Guardians. It's like it's
Guardians
like
of Ga'Hoole.
Yeah, it's like the Owls of Ga'Hoole. It's like something that can only be made around there, and I don't think you can make it like that again.
Yeah, that I remember seeing that, but it's been a long time.
You know what I wanted to see? Okay. Side note, little tangent here. You know what I wanted to see?
What?
When I was little, I was like, I read the Guardians of Ga'Hoole books. Like, I skimmed through them. I'm not going to say I read them because I didn't read them. I just kind of skimmed through them. Mm-hmm. They were fine, like, from what I've read. And, like, if you actually, like, go into the story, it's actually really more fucking fucked up and dark. Mm-hmm. And there's, like, weird shit. Like, it's weird shit. It's like, there's a lot more fucked up shit that happens to Soren's sister. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of fucked up shit, and there's, like, it's like, there's a point where, I know it's gonna sound weird, but Clud grows up, and why do I know all these names? Clud grows up, and he becomes the evil
man.
owl.
Evil owl man.
Evil owl man.
I don't know.
Evil owl that fucking hooks up with the
sister.
No, the
what?
The really the owl that
the really hot owl.
Yes. His mate, and they have a son, and the son, like, runs away, and he goes and joins up with Soren. I don't know.
Okay, Jade, this is like...
I'm not joking. I'm not making this up. Okay, but no, they had this, like, series that was like a... They had this series. I don't know if it took place before. I think it takes place, like, during the books of the Ga'Hoole. But they had, like, a side series that was, like, Wolves with the Beyond. And it was literally, like, same thing, but with wolves.
Oh my fucking gosh.
I'm not joking.
Does everyone want to, like, make, like, a Warrior Cats, like, spin-off?
Yes, they did. It was Warrior Cats and wolves. It was, like, this wolf that, like, got...
Jay, do you not know... You don't realize how many fucking things were based on Warrior Cats.
Okay.
They made a bear's version. They made a fucking bird version. They made an owl version. And apparently made a fucking wolf version. It's
and
like...
then, what was the other one that was, like, I think it was before Guardians of Ga'Hoole. Wasn't it Redwall? The mice?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think it went a little bit different than that, though. Yeah. With Redwall.
But there was a lot of, like,
I read a couple of the books from that.
Yeah, but there was a lot of animal, like, warrior movies. But no, this was, like, about I gotta show you. This was, like, about a wolf who like, got abandoned by his mom because, like, you know, he was born deformed. Like, his paw.
Later.
I will talk about it now. God damn it! I gotta have a little bit of a.
This is the funny thing. You have never seen this movie, never read the books, and then I read them, and I barely get to say anything, and you get to go on a fucking tangent.
What's beyond? No, I not died. Okay, so he gets abandoned by his mother in the dying cold because he was born with a deformed paw. I think one of his paws was like, it's been a long time since I read these fucking books, like 10 years ago. His paw was like backwards
Bent
or something.
in.
Yeah, backwards or something, or bent in. I don't remember what his paw was. I think it was just like his paw was broken or something. I don't remember. His paw was fucked up. And he was raised, and then like a bear who lost her cub
Raised the wolf.
raised the wolf to be like a smaller bear, and he
Like
ends up
every
joining
fucking story ever.
and he ends up joining the pack. And there's a lot of fucked up shit that happens in there. A lot of wolves die. A lot of wolves die. A lot of owls die.
Okay, are we
Like,
good?
A lot of everybody dies.
Jay.
It's like the Game of Thrones back then, and I was like, I read that whole book series because I was so obsessed with wolves back in the day, and I
Jay,
just that
you
whole
are a fucking wolf. Well, how is your Sona not a wolf?
I know. I'm sorry. Wolves are overrated in the furry community.
Honestly, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'd rather be a bat. I'd rather be blind, and I would rather eat like nom fruits
Okay, fine.
and hang upside down.
Fair enough. Okay. Last.
I'm also a vampire. But
Jay! Okay.
we should review Guardians of Galhool.
One day. Not
Guardians of Galhool.
Not for a while.
Guardians of the.
Jay! Not for a while. Anyway. So. Okay, last question, then we'll rate the thing.
Okay,
so,
wait.
Jay! We've been on like 2 tangents already!
Last question.
Fine.
Last question for Guardians of Galhool.
Fine.
Did you ever see the deleted scenes?
No!
Oh, I gotta show you the deleted scenes.
Later!
I'm sorry. Okay.
Jay, you can just do it later.
Continue with your question.
Okay, now that we got off of that fucking tangent. Okay, if they had made this into separate movies like they did with Harry Potter, do you think it would have been better or worse? And what do you think they should have
I don't think they would have pulled it up.
You don't think they would have held it
No,
off?
if I had to watch 3 movies of this shit, I wouldn't make it.
Really now?
Personally, yeah. I think it was fine with just being one movie.
Okay.
A very
fair
rushed, but nostalgic trip nonetheless.
Okay. So yeah. So let's give our ratings and then be done with this podcast. Okay, so I'll go first with mine. So for me, I probably give this like a 6.5 to 7 out of 10. I feel like it's good. It holds up pretty well animation wise and like live action wise, minus the green screen. That's kind of why I take points off for that, because you can tell, but I still feel like it holds up. I just wish it wasn't as rushed. The only issues I really had with it was that the fact it was rushed, and I know like why they did it, but still I didn't like that they rushed it. And just the green screen effects, but that's really it.
Okay, I'll give my rating.
What's your rating?
0 out of 10. It wasn't most of the beyond.
Jade! You can do that later!
I'm just
Actually be serious.
I'm just kidding. I'll find the audiobook for that later. But I give it. I grew up with it, so I'm a lot more kinder to it than I probably should be.
Okay.
I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10.
You a 6 out of 10?
It's decent. Out of like, if I took off my nostalgia goggles off for a little bit, yes, it's decent. It's decent. It's fine. I just don't think it's far from Nickelodeon's best fucking movie.
Yeah, but it's good for a Nickelodeon movie, in a sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the end of the podcast, guys. And sorry we haven't done much content this month. A lot has kind of hit the fan this month, so honestly, it's been kind of hard to really make videos recently because of everything. So hopefully we'll get more content coming soon. And also, I got Jay a Sunset Shimmer plushie, and he's playing with it right now. He loves this thing so much.
I love it. You spoil me too much.
I love spoiling you. And I love you. Anyway, so we're going to try and see if we can get some more stuff out this month. But if not, this is probably the only video we're really going to get done this month. If really anything besides like our last one we did.
Okay.
So, Jake, what are you fucking doing?
What?
What are you fucking doing?
I'm pretending the sunset is rising with the sun. I am king.
Jake,
I'm sorry.
You can do it after we're done.
My ADD bitch.
It's okay. Anyway, so we're going to try and get some other content hopefully done this month. But if not, this and the other video are probably going to be our only February videos, sadly. But sometimes shit happens. And it's not really our fault, but sometimes it happens. So, yeah. Original plans got kind of scrapped, but we'll be giving you guys more content coming soon. We're hopefully going to be doing more frequent podcasts in March.
Okay.
Right, honey?
Yes.
So hopefully we'll get some kind of shit done. But anyway, that's the end of the podcast.
I'm gonna go watch Owls of Ga'Hoole and go read Wolves of the Beyond, so yeah.
Oh, Lord. Well, you can do that. I'm going to go draw. Anyway, I'm Mari.
I'm Jay.
And we're out.